So if you've ever worked in supply chains, you know the feeling, right? That chaos. Just a mess of purchase orders, invoices, and shipping notices, all being juggled by these clunky, outdated, manual systems. Today, we're going to dig into how businesses are finally moving from that chaos to a place of complete control, and the modern solution that's making it all happen.
All right, first things first, let's talk about the real cost of all that chaos. Because when a business is stuck in the old ways of manual data processing, it's not just a headache, it's a serious strain on the bottom line.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Every single time an order has to be manually typed into a system, there's a chance for a mistake. A simple typo, a misplaced decimal, these tiny little errors can just snowball into huge problems, like sending out the wrong shipment, or even worse, creating unhappy customers.
And this isn't just a small problem. We're talking about a hard number here. Manual data entry can actually bloat a company's operational costs by a pretty staggering 20 to 30%. That's a huge chunk of money that should be going into, growing the business.
And these issues, they're not just little hiccups. We're talking about major business blockers. You've got unreliable data, which means you can't even trust your own numbers. Your old systems won't talk to modern tools. And maybe the most painful one of all, having to turn down a massive order because you know your process just can't handle it. Then you add on the chargebacks from big retailers, which can be another 20% in fees, and suddenly, the problem is critical.
So the big question is, how do you get out of this mess? Well, there's a modern solution designed to tackle this chaos head-on. It's called Cloud EDI.
So what exactly is Cloud EDI? Well, the fancy name is Electronic Data Interchange, but all it really is a system that lets businesses swap important documents, like purchase orders and invoices, electronically, right over the internet. And instead of running on some clunky old server in your office, it all happens seamlessly in the cloud.
And here's the absolute game changer. This isn't just some software you buy off the shelf. No, it's a fully managed service. What that means for you is you don't have to worry about any of the complicated setup, the constant maintenance, or trying to keep up with all the strict compliance rules from big retailers. The provider handles all of that stuff for you.
Okay, to really get how big of a deal this is, let's do a little side-by-side comparison. The old way versus the new way.
And wow, the difference is it's like night and day. The old in-house way, you're looking at huge upfront costs for servers, a long and complicated setup, and your IT team is basically on call 24/7 for maintenance. But the new way with the cloud, it's just a predictable subscription. It's fast to set up, it grows right along with your business, and all the maintenance is handled by experts.
All right, so that all sounds pretty great on paper, right? But what does it actually look like in your day-to-day workflow? Let's walk through a typical transaction to see how it works.
Honestly, it's super straightforward. So a purchase order comes in from a customer. Boom, you get an email alert. You just log in through your web browser and there's the order, laid out in a simple, easy-to-read format. Now, when you're ready to send an invoice, the system automatically pulls all the data from that original order. So no retyping, no mistakes. Then it just converts that invoice back into the right EDI format and zips it off to your customer. That's it. Simple.
Now you might be thinking, is this simple process secure? And the answer is absolutely. All of this simplicity is backed by some serious enterprise-level security. Your data is protected using all the industry-standard protocols designed for this kind of thing, plus end-to-end encryption. Bottom line, all your sensitive info is kept completely safe, whether it's in transit or just sitting there.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, especially for small and medium-sized businesses, the ones who need to work with big retailers to really grow. Let's talk about why this is such a game changer for them. The first thing you're going to notice? The cost savings. It's drastic. By getting rid of the need for expensive hardware, software, and dedicated IT staff, businesses are seeing monthly savings between 50 and 80%. I mean, think about that. That's a massive operational advantage, freeing up cash you can pour right back into your products or marketing. And then there's the speed. We're talking about a huge advantage here. Instead of it taking weeks or sometimes even months to get set up with a new retail partner, you can often be up and running in just 24 to 48 hours. That kind of agility means you can start making money from new partnerships almost right away.
But it's not just about saving money and moving faster. There's more to it. You get to see all your transactions in real time. Automation slashes those costly manual errors, and it hooks right into the systems you already use, like QuickBooks or NetSuite. But really, the best part is that it lets your team stop worrying about tedious data entry and start focusing on what they're actually good at, growing the business.
You know, one of the sources we looked at really summed it up perfectly. It said the Cloud EDI represents a significant leap forward for businesses, and that's exactly what it is. It's not just a tiny improvement, it's a fundamental shift in how businesses can operate and compete. So that really leaves us with one big question to think about. Once you finally move from chaos to control, once you get rid of all the friction, the errors, and the wasted costs, what new opportunities for growth could your business actually achieve?